In this lesson, I'm going to introduce you to talking about weeks, the number of weeks, how we count them, as well as this week, next week, last week, etc. Then we'll look at the days of the month. We're talking about the first, the second, the third, etc. And then a number of days. How many days you've done something for example. We'll start with talking about weeks. If we're talking about this week, we use the concept kon. If you've watched the video on this month, you'd know that was kongetsu. For this week, it's konshu. Shu is the ending for week. Konshu, this week. Senshu, last week. And if you remember, sengetsu meant last month. Senshu, last week. Raishu, next week. Saraishu means the week after next. Saraishu. We've already had Sarainen, the year after next. Saraigetsu, the month after next. Saraishu, the week after next. And Sensenshu, the week before last. Sensenshu. Not used often, but it is correct. Sensenshu, Senshu, Konshu, Raishu, and Saraishu when we're talking about weeks. Of course, for Senshu and Sensenshu, our sentence would need to end in the past tense. For example, Senshu, eiga o mimashita. I saw a movie last week, ending with mashita to say I saw. Past tense. Senshu, eiga o mimashita. The future ones like raishu, next week, we just use the mas ending because it's future and also present. Raishu, party ni ikimasu. I'm going to a party next week. Raishu, party ni ikimasu. I will go to a party next week. There's no particle required after the raishu or senshu. When we're counting weeks, we start with our basic number, but ichi, once again, the chi changes to a little tsu, and we say ishukan, ishukan, for a period of 1 week. Ishukan. Nishukan is simply ni with the shukan added to the end. Sanshukan, a period of 3 weeks. Yonshukan, for a period of 4 weeks. Goshukan, 5 weeks. Rokushukan, we do something for 6 weeks, we have 6 weeks of holiday. Rokushukan. Nanashukan, for 7 weeks. Nanashukan. Hachi, we lose the chi and it becomes hashukan. Hashukan, for a period of 8 weeks. If we're talking about days in terms of today, yesterday, tomorrow, etc., we start with today. Kyou. Kyou, gakko ni ikimashita. I went to school today, if you're talking at the end of the day. Kyou, gakko ni ikimashita. Yesterday is kino. Kino, geimu o shimashita. I played a game yesterday. Kino. Tomorrow would be ashita. Ashita, gakko ni ikimasu. I'm going to school tomorrow. Ashita. The day before yesterday is ototoi. Ototoi Suzuki-san ni aimashita. I met Mr. Suzuki the day before yesterday. Ototoi. The day after tomorrow is asatte. When are you going? Asatte ikimasu. I'm going the day after tomorrow. Asatte. Let's look at the days of the month. The days of the month, like in English we say the first, second, third. In Japanese the first 10 are quite tricky and they're new words, so we need to learn them. The first of the month is called tsuitachi. Tsuitachi. The second, futsuka. Futsuka. The third of the month is called mikka. Mikka. The fourth of the month is called yokka. Yokka. Taking careful note of the small tsu for mikka and yokka. The fifth day of the month is called itsuka. And the tsu is large, so we say it. Itsuka. The fifth of the month. The sixth, muika. Muika, the sixth day of the month. The seventh would be nanoka. Nanoka being the seventh day of the month. Yoka is the word for the eighth day of the month. Yoka. We have to be careful because sometimes there's a confusion between the fourth, yokka, and the eighth, yoka. The ninth is kokonoka. Kokonoka for the ninth. And toka is the word we use for the 10th day of the month. Toka, noting that we use an o for that long o sound in the 10th of the month. Toka. After that, there's just 3 or 4 that are tricky, but we just use the number and add nichi for the teens. For example, 11 nichi, the 11th day of the month. 12 nichi, the 12th. 13 nichi, the 13th. Then we have the 14th, which we use the yokka. 14. We don't say 14 nichi, we say 14. Then 15 nichi, 16 nichi, 17 nichi, 18 nichi, 19 nichi, and the 20th is another new word we have to learn, and that is hatsuka. Hatsuka being the 20th of the month. Then our numbers are simply, except for the 24th, we use the number plus nichi for the days of the month after 20, such as 21 nichi, the 21st, 22 nichi, the 22nd, 23 nichi, the 23rd, 24, the 24th, 25 nichi, the 25th, 26 nichi, 27 nichi, 28 nichi, 29 nichi, and then the 30th is simply 30 nichi. And of course we have the 31st in some of our months, 31 nichi. We use these days of the month if we're talking about the date. Watch out for the ones ending in 4, watch out for number 20, and practice 1 to 10 until you've memorized tsuitachi, futsuka, mikka, yokka, itsuka, muika, nanoka, yoka, kokonoka, and toka. If we're talking about our birthdays, we need to be able to give the date. We usually start with the month followed by the day, and we say 誕生日 meaning birthday. 誕生日は3月 would be March. 11日 would be the 11th. So if you're saying my birthday is the 11th of March, 誕生日は3月11日です。My birthday is the 11th of March. 誕生日は3月11日です。If your birthday happened to be in December, 誕生日は12月 the 12th month, December. 5日 from our list, meaning the 5th day of the month, です。My birthday's the 5th of December. 誕生日は12月5日です。So if we're talking about our birthdays, we need to be able to talk about the day of the month. So we need to practice how to say those days of the month. If we're counting the number of days we've done something for, if we've done it for one day, it's 1日. Then we go to the days of the month to count the days. 2日間 for 2 days. 3日間 for 3 days. 4日間 for 4 days. I played with my friends for 4 days straight. 4日間 for 4 days. 5日間 for 5 days, using 5日 being the 5th of the month and adding 間 period of time. 5日間 for 5 days. 6日間 for 6 days. 7日間 for 7 days. 8日間 for 8 days. 9日間 for 9 days. It's a bit of a mouthful. Practice that one. 9日間. And if it was for 10 days, we just say 10日. We don't actually add the 間. 10日 for 10 days. So if you're counting the days, it's another good practice for those days of the month. 1日、2日、3日, etc. Keep practicing those till you can memorize them completely.